Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! Billy Gilmour has stepped onto the hallowed turf of Celtic Park, donning the iconic No.8 shirt, and already the whispers among the supporters are swelling into a chorus that refuses to be ignored. There's a sense of anticipation that hangs in the crisp Scottish air, a tingling excitement that only the arrival of a player of his pedigree can generate. Fans are gathering in droves, voices hoarse from endless chants and songs that celebrate not just the game, but the very possibility of witnessing something extraordinary. The comparisons have begun almost inevitably, and while some might raise an eyebrow, the murmurings that he could be the next Luka Modrić are growing louder by the day. Every pass he threads, every touch he takes seems to carry the promise of composure and intelligence beyond his years, the kind that turns ordinary midfielders into orchestrators, the type who can dictate the pace and rhythm of a match without breaking a sweat. The old stands seem to hum with expectation, as though the ghosts of past Celtic legends are leaning in closer, curious to see whether this young Scotsman might carve his own chapter into their storied history. The way Gilmour moves on the pitch is a study in elegance, a blend of purpose and patience that immediately catches the eye of anyone watching closely. Even in training, snippets of his vision and awareness have leaked out to the public, sparking online debates and forums lit with speculation about just how far he can go. Supporters are dissecting every video, noting the subtlety of his first touch, the audacity of his forward passes, the calm under pressure that seems almost innate. The club's faithful, always hungry for a player to idolize, are drawing lines in the sand and dreaming of long-term influence, imagining a Gilmour-led midfield that controls games with the same finesse seen in some of Europe's elite competitions. Conversations in pubs and cafes swirl around him, some cautious, others wild with excitement, but all carry the same undertone. Something special is happening here. The anticipation is not just about immediate impact, but about potential, about a Scottish talent stepping up to claim a role that could define the next era at Celtic. Every move, every glance from Gilmour is passed, celebrated, or critiqued, and this constant attention only fuels the narrative of a young man on the brink of greatness, with whispers of Modrić comparisons already taking root in the fertile soil of Celtic dreams. Fans aren't just observing, they're projecting, imagining a midfield where Gilmour can control tempo, break opposition lines with precision, and orchestrate attacks with a sophistication that belies his age. There's a belief growing that he has the mental attributes to match his technical skill, the awareness to spot runs before they happen, and the composure to remain unfazed under intense pressure. Social media is awash with clips highlighting his clever touches, teasing the idea that he could become a generational talent in Scottish football, one who bridges the gap between local pride and European ambition. Some, skeptics murmur about the danger of early hype, the risk of comparisons to legendary figures putting undue pressure on a young player. Yet even they cannot deny the grace in his movement or the clarity in his decision-making. The narrative spreading through forums, comment sections, and whispered conversations in stadium queues is unmistakable. Billy Gilmour has captured the imagination of a fan base hungry for midfield artistry. Celtic's number 8 shirt, long associated with leadership and vision, feels reborn with his presence, a symbol not just of skill, but of hope, potential, and a certain audacity that reminds everyone why football, at its heart, is about dreams and possibility. Even the most casual observers have been drawn in by his style, his understated brilliance, and the way he seems to read the game with an almost cinematic understanding. Supporters speculate endlessly. Will he replicate Modric's legendary poise? Can he navigate the highs and lows of the Scottish Premiership while keeping his development trajectory on course? The questions are plentiful, and yet the excitement overshadows the doubts. There's talk in locker rooms, on terraces, and in cafes about how his passing range could alter Celtic's approach to games, enabling quicker transitions, more fluid attacking moves, and a sense of control that opponents will find difficult to disrupt. Whispers suggest that a new era might be dawning, one where the young Scotsman becomes the fulcrum around which matches pivot, the player who transforms good sides into formidable ones through intelligence and skill alone. Coaches are reportedly enamored with his professionalism and work ethic, while supporters cheer every glimpse of his training, interpreting each session as a hint at the brilliance soon to be unleashed on match days. In every conversation, every rumor, the number 8 shirt and the player who now wears it are linked inexorably to potential greatness. The very idea that Celtic might have unearthed a talent capable of inspiring comparisons to one of the modern greats. The atmosphere in and around Celtic Park has a tangible electricity, an almost reverential buzz that accompanies the young midfielder wherever he goes. Rumors about his performances in practice trickle out in fragments, enough to keep fans speculating without ever confirming anything definitively. This ambiguity only fuels the fire, creating an environment ripe for storytelling, where each subtle gesture or clever pass can be magnified into legend-like status. Analysts and pundits are quick to pick apart his movements to highlight how he balances defensive responsibility with creative freedom, hinting at a player who could dominate not just domestically but on European nights as well. Discussions in the stands often drift into hypothetical scenarios, imagining how Gilmour could dictate tempo against continental giants, or how his presence might inspire a new generation of Scottish midfielders to emulate his style. The sheer weight of possibility is intoxicating, feeding the fan base's imagination and shaping a narrative that has become as compelling as any match itself. Celtic supporters, forever proud yet hungry for innovation, seem ready to embrace him, to build a mythos around a young talent who might very well become synonymous with the club's vision of modern football. Amid all the excitement, there's also a whisper of caution, a reminder that football careers are rarely linear and that early promise can sometimes falter under the weight of expectation. Yet even this is part of the allure. The tension between hope and uncertainty makes every performance feel vital, every training clip a clue to potential greatness. The number 8 shirt, traditionally donned by leaders and creators, now carries the weight of Celtic's ambitions as much as it does Gilmour's own journey. Fans discuss endlessly whether he can handle the pressure, whether his game intelligence and technical skill are sufficient to carry him to the heights that pundits and supporters dare to imagine. Every rumor, every whispered prediction contributes to a growing legend that seems almost preordained, a story that weaves itself into the fabric of Scottish football culture. And while the skeptics remain, they too are caught up in the spectacle, in the possibility that Billy Gilmour is not just a promising talent, but a transformative figure a midfield artist whose impact may resonate far beyond the green of Celtic Park and into the broader landscape of European football. The buzz surrounding Billy Gilmour has only intensified as supporters continue to dissect every subtle nuance of his game, turning even ordinary training clips into moments of speculative genius. Conversations in cafes, pubs, and online forums are peppered with phrases like "next Modrić" and "the midfield maestro." Celtic has been waiting for, reflecting a collective hunger for a player who can combine intelligence, vision, and technical finesse in a way that feels almost cinematic. Each forward pass he attempts, every defensive interception he executes, is magnified in the imagination of fans who are eager to see a new symbol of the club's renaissance. Rumors swirl about how his understanding of space and timing could transform Celtic's approach to matches, allowing them to dominate possession in ways that feel effortlessly sophisticated. Analysts whisper that he has the patience to wait for the perfect moment to release the ball, the composure to resist panic in high-pressure situations, and the creativity to unlock defenses with seemingly minimal effort. This narrative, part anticipation and part projection, is shaping a mythology around Gilmour, one where the young Scottish talent is not simply another signing, but potentially a generational figure whose influence could define the next chapter of Celtic's illustrious history. Every day, speculation deepens as supporters and pundits alike try to imagine what a Gilmour-led midfield could look like under different tactical setups. There is endless debate about whether he will be the engine driving attacks or the stabilizer who allows others to flourish around him. Yet no matter the theory, the consensus seems to be that his vision is exceptional. Videos circulate, dissected frame by frame, showing how he positions himself to intercept, how he anticipates runs, and how his awareness allows him to exploit tiny gaps that others might overlook. It is these small but crucial details that fuel the imagination, creating a picture of a player who can think 2 steps ahead, a cerebral orchestrator who blends intelligence and skill. Supporters speculate endlessly about the potential for him to dictate the rhythm of matches, to calm chaotic situations, and to inspire teammates with his sense of timing and decision-making. Even the whispers of doubt are transformed into discussion points as fans debate whether the comparisons to elite midfielders are premature or whether they are already an inevitable part of the Celtic narrative. The excitement is not merely about immediate results, but about the slow-burning possibility of witnessing a player mature into something truly extraordinary, a figure who may leave a permanent mark on Scottish football. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The romanticism surrounding Gilmour's presence in the squad cannot be overstated, as each gesture and movement on the pitch carries symbolic weight in the eyes of devoted fans. The number 8 shirt, traditionally associated with leadership and creativity, now seems reborn, imbued with the promise of someone capable of shaping matches through intelligence and precision. Rumors circulate that European scouts have already been keeping a close eye on his performances, noting his ability to combine defensive awareness with attacking ingenuity in a way that few midfielders at his age manage. Fans dream aloud of long balls threaded through opposition lines, subtle feints that unbalance defenders, and the calm, almost hypnotic control of tempo that turns ordinary games into orchestral displays of football artistry. Conversations often pivot to hypotheticals, how Gilmour might handle pressure in high-stakes European ties, whether his mental resilience will match his technical skill, and how his development trajectory could align with Celtic's ambitions for domestic dominance and continental recognition. These discussions are fueled by a mixture of hope, admiration, and imagination, all of which contribute to the growing legend of a young man whose potential seems almost tangible. Even in casual observation, the aura surrounding Billy Gilmour is palpable, a magnetic combination of skill, intelligence, and promise that draws people into speculative storytelling. Every fan seems to have their own narrative. Some praise his composure, others marvel at his vision, while a growing chorus insists that he carries the aura of a player destined for greatness. Rumors about his future impact on Celtic's style of play swirl constantly, suggesting that his intelligence could allow the team to implement more sophisticated tactical plans to control tempo and space in ways previously unattainable. The discussion extends to how his presence might influence younger players, offering a model of professionalism, patience, and technical mastery that could inspire a new generation of Scottish talent. Across social media and stadium terraces, fans share clips, highlight moments, and speculate about patterns of play, turning every small success in training into evidence of potential brilliance. The narrative that Gilmour is the new Modrić is no longer mere hype. It has become part of a shared cultural moment, a communal daydream where possibility feels as real as reality itself. Every touch, pass, and intercepted ball becomes a token of promise, feeding the imagination of those who yearn to witness the transformation of Celtic midfield artistry. There is also a sense of suspense that permeates discussions around Gilmour, a tension between cautious optimism and exuberant belief that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. Rumors suggest that coaching staff are already crafting specific roles to maximize his influence, perhaps placing him at the center of a midfield that balances creativity and defensive responsibility. Speculation abounds about how opponents will adjust to his intelligence, how rival teams might struggle to contain a player who sees the game several moves ahead, and how his calm under pressure could redefine the expectations of a Celtic midfielder. Fans imagine every scenario: the perfect through ball, splitting the defense, the subtle deflection, intercepting a dangerous counterattack, or the graceful control that stabilizes a chaotic midfield. The constant dialogue between supporters, pundits, and casual observers keeps the narrative alive, giving life to rumors and making each matchday feel like a potential turning point in a story that is unfolding in real time. The excitement, almost tangible, is underpinned by a collective belief that something special is in the making, a story that feels as much about hope as it does about football. Hello, fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.